201.15. Hey y'all! Artist Poet Girl here, also known as APG Jamie. Gonna work on my February calendar challenge as hosted by Darcy UK on Art and Soul blog. So her link will be listed in the description, as well as the ingredients that I used to alter this month's calendar. So yeah, and let's see, the rules were to leave part of your original, or part of the original design, check, and to use the plastic wraps, cling wrap technique, check, and to use corrugated cardboard, check, check. Oh, or bubble wrap, yeah, check, 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 check. So I use this stencil, and which a dear friend gave to me. Thanks, Colleen. Mwah. And I would just used plain thick white gesso through that, and I did it twice. I did one side, and then I dried it a little bit. And then I scooched it over and did the other side. And I'm just showing you January's page, just in case you didn't see that video or that blog entry on my blog, which is mypurpledoorstudios.blogspot.com. So yeah, and here I'm going to use white gesso again, and I'm going to go around all the cupcakes except 3 orange ones. I liked them, so I kept them. Originally my first thought was tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. But I didn't go with that. I mean, you know, it's February and stuff, so yeah. And I went, used the gesso in one direction horizontally, and then after that first layer dried, I went back over it vertically. Well, yeah, I'm doing it vertically first, and then I go back over it horizontally. Okay, technicality, you got me. So anyway, there's all dry. Ta-da! And now I'm going over it with sort of a blue-greeny teal mixture of a color. I use super pale blue with a medium colored teal with a little bit of the white gesso that was left over on my little palette, aka the coffee can lid. So yeah, and I just put one layer on because that was really all it needed, and I was okay with it. So yeah, I don't know why I feel like I have to explain to you, because I don't have to explain to you. But if you do have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you with an appropriate answer. Maybe it'll even be a right answer, the best answer, lifeline. I don't know. So yeah, I decided these cupcakes were going to become flowers. Flowers in the month of February. And there, the background is dry. I'm just kind of trying to show you a close-up of the cupcakes. It's kind of hard to get a little focus on that. Those were just some little circle-y gear-like things I punched out from just regular copy paper to protect my flowers, formerly known as cupcakes, from the bubble wrap, which I'm just using with, mixed a little more, well, not a little more, I put some white craft paint in with the background color, and then I tried to use just a white. It just sort of doesn't really show up that well. Maybe I should have cleaned my brush. Wiped it off a little bit more, I don't know. But in the end, I think I used too much bubble wrappage. Yeah. But I like it. So, was it too much? I don't know. And anyway, the biggest vote that I got last month was to use the widescreen. So that's what I'll be doing. And there you can see the dried gesso that was through the stencil, and here I'm just using a dark purple craft paint, and I'm mixing water in with it. I mean, it's not really a wash. I could have used a wash. Don't know why I didn't use a wash, but anyway, there you have it. Whether you understood it or not makes no difference, okay? Just saying. So here again. So then, because I wanted, I didn't want my next step to soak in, I used the golden matte medium on this, and of course dried it again, heat gun, yeah. So I've done it with and without a layer of the matte medium, and both ways work just fine as far as I'm concerned. This is just done on basic cardstock, basic white cardstock, so yeah. And that is a dark green. I'm just smooching it around. That's a black, again, just smooching it around. That it was fairly, well, it wasn't totally wet, but anyway, I squished some water on it, which you saw. And here's the saran wrap, or plastic wrap, cling wrap, whatever you want to call it, whatever brand you have to use. And you just put it on there and squish it around, and you need to really let it dry naturally overnight, at least. And once it's dry, which you're going to see me rub my hand across there, is it dry? Yeah, it's dry. Because what ends up happening with your craft paint, which normally or usually isn't shiny, it ends up being shiny with this technique. And I had considered maybe sanding across it to see if I could raise some of those letters back to the foreground. Lazy, so no. And there I used the Silhouette, maybe I'll use it more than a die cutter, and I cut out some feathers, pretty small. Not all of them came out successfully, but we won't talk about that. So there's my piece of corrugated board, and it was left over from packaging of something that came in a cardboard box, y'all. It was fairly thin corrugate as well, and there I am peeling off the manufacturer brand advertisement that was on the outside of the box. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what it was, but I kept it because it's a treasure. Well, it's a treasure now anyway. So and you can see I used that die cut. I used the die cut machine again. Holy cow, you know. And I didn't want my vase to be that tall, so I cut some of the bottom off. There's one of my successful feathers. I did have a couple of them, but a couple of them, you know, I ended up cutting them apart and making little pretties. These are little tiny snowflakes that I was going to use originally as centers on all the cupcake flowers, but I ended up only liking it on the one. So I thought, well, I'll just stack them up down here next to the vase. That's a fancy word for vase, y'all. Also known as whatever empty bottle you have on hand. There I'm drawing with the pencil, just where I'm going to marker in the stems in a minute. Marking my vase position. That's a Stabillo All because I want a shadow on that side. Only the shadow knows. Did you know that Champ blends into shadows and actually kind of looks like a shadow? He's so dark. And in Molly, she's the same color as the carpet in the bedroom, which is the only room I have carpet in my healing room. But anyway, so she just kind of blends in the carpet, and sometimes you can't see either one of them. You're walking across the floor and you're kicking dogs everywhere. So anyway, there y'all saw I used dark green, or it's kind of a medium green marker, permanent marker, like a permanent record, and I'm going over it with the Soufflé pen, and that is I'm going to call it a yellow green for lack of a better word. Okay, yellow green. And because it is a souffle, you really can't see it until it dries. So you'll see that later. And there's an orange souffle. I'm just making some little circles around on that one because that one just looked too flat. And y'all will also see at the end that obviously someone, I don't know who, probably Champ or Molly, ended up not turning the video back on when they were doing some some line work with the Jelly Roll Stardust pen, and maybe some highlights with the white pen. I don't know what we're gonna see, people. I just don't know. Okay. So oh look, I had a label from a little piece of leftover stuff, and I wrote number 9 on it. And then when I flipped it over, I saw it was black, and I'm like, oh, I like that so much better. So I took that white Jelly Roll and wrote #9. And you know that in old terms, that means number 9. For those of you youngsters who may watch my videos, that's number 9. And for you oldersters, you may know what number 9 refers to. And I don't mean the Beatles song. Number 9, number 9, number 9. Yeah. Some of you oldsters may remember that too. Youngsters, don't worry. You may have missed a great era, but you just heard that song. Number 9, number 9. So anyway, there's the good old Aleene's tacky glue I'm using on the back of my featherage, which is decor, that side of the vase. And yeah, I may not have gotten them back in the exact same place I originally had them, but you know, it's close enough. Still makes me happy. Go lucky. It's February. St. Valentine's Day is coming. So there's that one snowflake. Oh, I also used my plastic wrap background for the snowflakes too. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'll do that now. So now I'm just going to stack them up here around next to the vase. And I lost one because originally I had 5 of them to stack up. So y'all know, I just reached over and gonna punch another one. Wait for it. Bam, it's punched. I know y'all didn't think that was really gonna happen to you. So there we are, just gluing those on, and somewhere around in here I start doing some fancy pen work. Oh, here comes my label. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. You think that would be some kind of infringement on that? Nah. Hashtag 9, not number 9. Hashtag 9. So I'm going back over sort of a highlight with that yellow green soufflé, and there I'm putting some white on the featherage over there because I don't know, in real life it just kind of all looked too much the same. Now I did leave that somewhat dimensional, and by that I mean I didn't smash it all down. I didn't use woody to smash it all down nice and flat. I did kind of leave it puffed up a little bit on top of the Aleene's tacky glue, and I like that. Yeah. So I think this is the Stardust, and I'm highlighting some of the portions of the corrugate, and here I'm going around with that Stabillo All, making some shadows, although only the shadow knows. I never got to see that show. That was before my time. I'm only 34, y'all. Yes. So that's just a water brush, whatever cheapo brand of water brush I got forever ago on clearance. Clearance, not Clarence. I don't know anyone named Clarence. Oh, that was that angel in It's a Wonderful Life, wasn't it? Clarence, he finally got his wings. God bless him. So there it is. I think I got all. I added some leafage to the flower stems. I'm pretty happy with those. They look way better in real life. And so that's about it, other than some close-up photographs. That's a fancy word for pic, also known as picture, taken with a camera, not a phone. Phones are for talking. And you can kind of see the glittery of the Stardust Jelly Roll there. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for the February calendar challenge. Thanks for watching. Happy art, y'all. Ta-da! CB made this for me last month on my birthday.